is going to be lost. You should know in those communities, you drive down the street, house after house after house, house after house after house has a for sale sign. And if there's not a for sale sign, it's because it's boarded up, the people have thrown the keys and walked away. Brothers and sisters, whether you're in Windsor, you're in Toronto, you're in Ottawa, or you're in Atikokan or Thunder Bay, we have to stand together to send an absolute clear message to both the provincial government and the federal government that we're not going to take it anymore. We're going to fight back like you have never, ever, ever seen before. When we started this caravan, we started at a mill that was closed in Kenora. That day, someone handed me a local newspaper, and the owner of the mill, who had agreed to pay severance, said, "Oh, I don't think I'm going to pay now." What the hell is that all about? We have laws that are supposed to ensure we get that severance, and no employer, no government should hide behind phony bankruptcy legislation to screw working people out of that money. Some of these people are owed $80,000. $80,000. They've worked their lifetime in these mills, and we should not ever back down. We should fight like hell. Let me turn a little bit to EI, because in community after community, people talk to us about EI, and I want to build on what Ken Lomenza said. You know, we don't need a bunch of Tories and Liberals sitting in a back room at High Steakhouse figuring out what the problem is. You could ask any of us. We could tell you, people need to access the EI fund, and they need to keep it long enough till they get another job. It's that simple. Change the rules so that we can do that. Let's never forget, that fund had a $54 billion surplus. $54 billion. That was the money you and me paid into it. They took it out, put it in general revenues, and then shipped it off to a bunch of corporate tax breaks. We should be saying to those Liberals and those Tories up in Ottawa, you put that damn money back in the fund, and then you get the money to the people who need it.
Hear, hear.
Brothers and sisters, at this point I'm going to ask you to do two things. First thing I'm going to ask you, over there is another banner, which has literally hundreds and hundreds of people have signed it all along our journey. It includes comments from right across the province. Please, before you leave, take a minute to go over there and add your name. The second thing, if you go to our website at www.drivetowwork.ca, you will find literally hundreds of messages that people have given us in every corner of the province. They are messages that people have come to our Speaker's Corner. So I want to ask you to also go to our Speaker's Corner. Can someone tell me where that is? It's over at the RV. Go over there and take your 2 minutes to talk. Now let me close by talking a little bit about pensions. I am old enough, and I'm sure there's a few other people here, who can remember when Conrad Black tried to steal the money out of the Dominion Stores pension plan. I'm one of those who think Conrad Black was a little bit 30 or 40 years too late going to jail. You know, the labor movement in those days fought that. We fought it by forcing legislative change, and we fought it in the courts. You should know at the OFL, we've been to the Supreme Court twice in the last 5 or 6 years, fighting corporations trying to steal that money. And it's simple as this, my friends. This is a promise. It's the pension promise. And the governments have the responsibility to regulate it. There is nobody on this stage, nobody in this crowd, nobody in this country that has a responsibility to regulate pensions, except for the provincial and the federal governments. And our message to them should be, not one single penny should come out of any pension plan, because you, my friend, are responsible for regulating it, and if you can't do it, then let's elect somebody who can. It's almost that simple. You know, in many communities Always I talk about the young people who come to our caravan. I'm going to take 2 minutes now to talk about the people who've been around a lot longer. The people like those standing behind.